Okay, hey, hello everybody. This is Dan King from Fist Bump Media, and I'm excited today to be launching off another one of our awesome webinars. Today, the focus is one of our business strategy webinars. Today, the focus is on how to use Facebook for small business, especially in 2020. And this is a really cool one for me because I really dig Facebook. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it, but I've been working on Facebook for a long time. You know, even before I started Fist Bump Media, I was doing quite a bit of work with a group called the High Calling, and I was the social media editor for the team. It was kind of an online magazine, if you will, where we talked about faith and work and stuff too. But when I took over the social media, the Facebook page had something like 250 followers on it. By the time we finished, the page had over 100,000 followers on it. And better than that, was the engagement, right? The engagement that we were seeing with the content that we were pushing out and everything too was just phenomenal. I mean, we'd really developed a pretty cool community there. So this is something kind of personal for me too. It's a place where I have quite a bit of experience in how we grow and leverage the platform and stuff too. And whether your audience is huge and going for broad scale, worldwide kind of global audience, or if you're just a small local business, right? There's a lot of opportunity on Facebook, and there are ways that we can help kind of get your brand out there and expose you to more potential customers and gather leads and all kinds of fun stuff. So it's a really neat place. And the thing is out of all the social networks, this is the one where all of the people are at. And we're going to kind of dig into some of that information here in a minute, so you can see, because I want you to kind of understand a few things. But we're going to answer a few questions that I know I regularly get about Facebook. And with that, we'll just kind of get started here. I'm going to dive in. The first question is really, it's about, is Facebook marketing suitable for businesses, in particular my business, right? I have a small business. And just so you know, I've grown up as a writer, blogger myself, and leveraging social media for that and Facebook. But I've also grown Fist Bump Media over the last 7.5 years to very largely based on how we've leveraged social media to help kind of continue to grow our business. So anyway, the quick answer here is Facebook marketing suitable for businesses? And the answer is absolutely yes, right? So let's look at why here a little bit. A couple statistics that I pull, and these are some great stats. A study done by Hootsuite, and they've shared a lot of this information online. A few of the stats that I kind of pull out from that study that I want to take a look at. One is 71% of American adults use Facebook. That's a lot, right? And really, you're looking at about 2/3 of all men in the United States are using Facebook, and about 3 out of 4, 75% of women in the United States are using Facebook. The audience does tend to lean more towards female than it does male, which is great, and big thing is just understanding the audience, right? From a marketing perspective too, there are ways you can even look at within a business page and stuff like that too, to see how many of your followers are in certain age ranges and various demographics and stuff too. So if you know your audience who's there, it makes it easier for you to craft your messages for those audience. Another interesting stat here too is that seniors are the fastest growing group of Facebook users, right? 65 and over is seeing faster growth in that age group than really any other age group that's out there. So So it's not just for young people or people in the middle of their life and stuff too. Really all ages, 65 and older, are getting on it and stuff as well too. So really a lot of opportunity there, regardless of the demographic you're looking for age-wise. And this is interesting as well too, and I think this is an important one, especially for businesses, is that 74% of high-income earners use Facebook, and the high income being defined as people earning $75,000 or more per year. Facebook is their preferred social network, right? So there's people with money on the platform as well too. So from a business perspective, this is a big deal, right? Because it's harder to sell to people who don't have any money. So to know that high income earners, you can sell and connect with high-end customers. I have some clients that we do some social media work for who are like interior designers, and they really focus on luxury beach condos and stuff too. So they're talking big dollar projects, and they can ask me, can I find my customer here on Facebook? And it's like, absolutely, right? Facebook is for really a lot of income levels, and especially the high income levels. Facebook tends to be the preferred network for them. And with that too, let's dig in and look at the user behavior a little bit, right? Because this is really important as well too. It's one thing for a lot of people to be on Facebook, but how do they behave? What do they do, right? So let's look at 74% of Facebook users log in daily, right? And I love this. More than half log in several times per day, and there's really a very small percentage who log in less than once a week, right? So the large majority of people are daily users. Quite a few, more than one time a day. They're spending 30 minutes per day on average using the platform, which is interesting too, because you're going to have some people, even if they're logging on every day, it might be 5-10 minutes. So to get an average here of 38 means that some people are spending several hours per day on Facebook, and you may know some of them, right? It's not difficult to get caught up in the stories and the videos and all kinds of things, right? It is, definitely becoming a big, powerful chunk of screen time that people are getting within just this, not just using a mobile device or a phone or something like that too, but within Facebook itself. And this is interesting as well too. 15% of U.S. social media users shop on Facebook. And this is interesting too as well, and that may seem a little bit low. But it's second among the social media networks, second to just a Pinterest, which really rocks as far as a shopping platform and stuff too. But to know that 15% of all these users that are out there, some of them are actually actively shopping on the platform. And shopping, if you're not shopping, it doesn't mean you're not interacting with the brands and stuff like that too as well too. But I'm talking about active shopping on the platform. So people are there looking for opportunities to connect with businesses. So to kind of answer that question again, is Facebook marketing suitable for business? And the answer is absolutely yes, right? The people are there. They're in prime state in order to engage and interact and connect and do business with you, right? So regardless of what kind of business you have, there's going to be opportunity here on Facebook for you. Next question is what is the best way to promote a business on Facebook? And this is a great one too, and there's a couple of quotes that I want to look at here that I think are really fantastic. This first one from Peter Drucker says, the aim of marketing is to know and understand the customer so well the product or service fits them and sells itself, right? And this is marketing in general. This is not specific to Facebook. But a lot of this is about knowing the customer, right? And if you think about this, that you know and understand them, that you develop your product and your service and stuff too, that essentially it fits and it sells itself too, that you're not really trying to push and be overly salesy and stuff too. And this is a really important concept here on Facebook. This next quote too is from Kelly Hendrickson, as a Facebook lead at HubSpot, which is a fantastic CRM tool. It's a tool that we use and love it. But Kelly says, Facebook is a discovery model platform. Its primary goal is to make the audience happy. So you'll only get the ROI if you create quality content for your audience. And this is huge too, right? Now, between these two things, one thing I really want to say about the best way to promote your business on Facebook is to understand what the channel is about. The channel is about people. And if you understand that it's about people, when you hear things about Facebook changed their algorithm again, and they're pushing down my reach on my Facebook page so fewer people see my posts and stuff like that too. Well, here's the deal. If every brand out there just blasted and slammed, all their posts and stuff too, then when people signed on to Facebook, all they would see was all these advertisements and stuff from people, from businesses and brands all the time, and they'd check out, they'd be gone, right? So keeping the platform about people is really a smart tactic by Facebook to make sure that the people continue to stay there, right? So we see growth on Facebook all the time, stuff too, as far as users and everything. So we know that people are staying there. So their approach to trying to keep it about people and the things that people care about, it's working, and it's fantastic. So remember, Facebook is not a sales tool. It's a connection tool. It's a social tool, right? So when we talk about the best way to promote your business on Facebook is to don't get out there and just sell, right? It's not there for you to just keep throwing at people, hey, buy my stuff, right? But if you're connecting well and engaging well with potential customers as a person, right, and relating on that personal level and stuff too, then you're going to find your customers, right? They'll come to you because you've developed that relationship with them and stuff too, and built your trust and things like that. So don't use Facebook as a sales tool. Use it as a connection tool, and that's really where you're going to find your greatest engagement and stuff too. I also think it's important as well to note that some of the most shared content from brands and stuff that we see people sharing on Facebook and stuff is stuff that makes them look smart or makes them look funny, right? So we're going to see that here in just a second too, because a couple of things that we see is, and here's the next question: how can I make my Facebook small business page a success, right? So when we talk about using a page and the type of content that we share, this is an actual report here just recently, and I use another fantastic tool called CoSchedule, which helps me kind of schedule out my marketing, my analytics stuff, or my social media posts, and it gives me some analytics as it kind of evaluates how that content is performing and stuff too. And this is one of the sections of a Facebook engagement report that's showing me top posts just from our Fist Bump Media page. And really, just to be completely transparent here and stuff, and show you exactly how some of this stuff is working that we've been doing. Right now, we have right about 1,200 followers on our page, and overall, the average reach of a post is going to reach about 5.5% of your audience. So with our 1,200 followers on the Fist Bump Media page, 5.5% means 66 views, right? 66 people would just normally organically just see any given post that we have out there and stuff on average. So when we look at some of these posts, right? I know these are kind of hard to see too, so I'm going to explain some of these a little bit too. But this first post, the top post, got viewed by 104 people, so pretty close. Getting close, about 1.5 to 1.75 times or whatever the average. So from an organic engagement, it's done really well. It's got 9 likes and 2 comments on it. But that post is a photo that we shared that my daughters had left me a "I love you, Daddy" card and little breakfast thing and stuff on my desk. So I came to work one morning and was surprised by this little sweet gift for my kids. Right. Not surprising that something very personal like that had nothing to do with business or product or anything like that too. Got much better than average reach and views from our audience, and a higher level of engagement from our people and stuff like that as well too. And then the number 2 one here too is just recently there was the Dolly Parton challenge where it's just a meme where you kind of share profile picture from LinkedIn and Facebook and Tinder and stuff like that too. Again, nothing to do with a product or anything like that too, but 84 views. So again, pretty well above the average for what the average organic reach should be in higher engagement. It's got likes, comments, and stuff too. So the 2 most popular ones right there had absolutely nothing to do with business, products, or sales or anything like that too. It's just connecting with people, presenting our personal side, presenting a funny side stuff, and being entertaining. So those are things that have tended to get us the most engagement there. This one is a link post, right? And this is a link post. It's got 1.4 thousand views. And I'll tell you too that one's got a lot more views because we boosted it. And we're going to talk about advertising here in a little bit, but that was one that we wanted to get in front of a few more people and stuff too, so we boosted it. But top post, we have image, link, and then the next one here too, number 4 is a video post, and actually it's a video post about just a quick Facebook Live for a couple of minutes talking about this webinar actually coming up. And it's got a few likes and stuff too, and right about the average for the average reach for a post and stuff. So, and then again, a couple of other meme type posts and stuff too, kind of round out those top six posts. So you're seeing really out of all this stuff, one post that had to do with product got boosted and stuff. It got it up onto this page and stuff too. And then there's a video here where I'm talking about this webinar and stuff and encouraging people to come sign up and register for it. Also got up there a little bit and stuff too. But the rest is just kind of fun, funny, relational stuff like that. That really just the big intent is to connect with people, right? Is the stuff that tends to get the most engagement. And this is really important too, because the way Facebook algorithms work, they kind of look at your overall history. So when you share a post, if you're sharing content that is getting good engagement, then they're going to trust you a little bit more to say, these people are connecting well with people. Okay. So then other posts and other content that you share will tend to get a little bit higher reach compared to just posting about your products and sales and stuff like that all the time. Okay, so doing this and doing posts that will tend to get you a little bit higher engagement is an important part of the strategy, because it's not only just helping you relate and entertain and educate stuff like that, but it's also helping the algorithms understand that you are worth showing up in people's news feeds for, so that when you do post the post about products and services and things like that you offer, they'll tend to get higher reach as a result, because you're showing that you're worth the reach, right? So really important element there is it relates to how you share your content stuff on Facebook and make a page. So a couple of the tips here that I like to kind of build a base strategy around, when it comes to making your business page successful, is first plan to post 5 to 6 times per week, right, for the best reach. Try to avoid doing more than one post in a single day, and don't avoid the weekends, right? Because typically the weekends are going to be time when a lot of people have more time to be online and stuff too. A lot of times Saturday morning posts and stuff like that too are really great times to get posts out there. But you want to kind of mix things up. Don't necessarily say I'm posting Monday through Saturday, every day and stuff. Mix it up, take some days off here and there. We do some people where we do, 4 or 5 posts a week, and some we do 6, 7 posts a week and stuff too, depending on our goals. But that kind of 5 to 6, that's really kind of the sweet spot. If you're hitting 5 posts a week, you're probably doing pretty good. And again, remember, it doesn't have to be Monday through Friday if you're doing 5 posts a week. Use a variety of post types. Mix it up with your images, your videos, your link post, even just some plain text post where you just write something and there's nothing else that's in there, right? Mix it up and try some different things. If you do things, where you're at different events or you're doing different things and stuff too that people can actually put on their schedule, try using events as a post type and stuff to help kind of create that extra level of engagement where people can kind of tag it and say, yes, I plan on being there. Use offers, right? When you're talking about your products and stuff too, if you have a special offer, a coupon code that you're running for a certain period of time, use those. But really mix it up. The variety is really important when it comes to the kinds of posts that you share. You just don't want to get stuck in a rut of the only thing you share is link posts, or the only thing you share is image post. You don't ever share any other type of content. Get a little bit of variety in there. Also important too, I like with the schedule of about 5 to 6 times a week, having 1 to 2 posts per week that I'm curating from other sources. I think it's important in helping establish your credibility too, that you're not just about hey, come look at me. If you find other interesting articles that are related to things that you do around the web, share those articles and stuff, right? We do that stuff quite a bit. And again, a little bonus tip that's in there too. I love using a tool called Sniply that helps us kind of get our branding on there and stuff too. Basically, if you find an article, what it does is just like this. Here's an article on Social Media Examiner that we shared a little while back about Facebook engagement tactics, right? Pretty interesting post. You can find that in our news feed if you want. But what Sniply does is I take the link and I send it through Sniply, and I create this little floating widget thing that sits on the bottom corner of the page and stuff, where I can say, hey, click here to come to my thing, right? So even though I'm sharing a link to somebody else's content somewhere else, I can still slap my branding on it and still have a little bit of a call to action to trigger people to come to my stuff as they come over and read the article here on somebody else's website. So it's a really cool little tool. We really dig that and use that quite a bit. So definitely worth checking out. Another thing too that I like, and this is a little bonus tip, when you share content and it gets the engagement, right? And this is that post. This is if you recall from some of our top posts here, that one where I was the personal photo, the little thing that my girls left me. It's the photo back there, from Chloe and Audrey to Daddy and stuff, a little heart card and some breakfast stuff. When you see that, right, one of the things I like to do is that I'll go to view who liked it, click on the likes, right, and if there are people who like this, maybe because it was some kind of viral, some of their friends liked it or shared it or whatever too, so maybe they liked it too. But if they don't already like your page, then you can come here when you're viewing, click and see who liked it. If they don't already like your page, there'll be a little invite button there too, and you can click on that. So that's a great way to get more followers for your page. And this works really well too, and I'm going to talk about advertising in a little more detail here in a second, but this works really well when you kind of couple it with some advertising and you do some boosting of posts and stuff to get it in front of more people who don't already follow your page. And if you get some likes and engagement from that, invite then those people who like the post to also like your page, right? So it's a great way to help you earn some steady follower growth on your page. And we see that working quite well for several clients, watching growth continue to roll and snowball over time. So So some great stuff there for how you manage your Facebook business page for success. All right, so groups are really interesting, and I'm not going to talk a lot about this too, but there's definitely some opportunity in here. So a couple of statistics here too from the study from Hootsuite is there are 1.4 billion people who use Facebook groups, and that's a worldwide number, but there's a lot of people who use Facebook groups, and there are more than 10 million groups on Facebook, right? So a group is different than a page, where a page might be like a kind of a storefront for your brand or your business. Groups are just that, where there might be a local group in your town for business owners, right? And people can join this group and share with each other, and you don't have to be friends, but you can be in this shared group, and you can share stuff, they can share stuff, or whatever, right? But there's a lot of groups out there, 10 million groups on Facebook. And I thought this was interesting too from the statistics that I saw, was that users aged 18 to 24, so young people, the data shows that they're open to brands posting in Facebook groups. Okay, and I think the big key here is that if you're functioning as a brand, posting in a Facebook group, that you kind of keep in mind, the whole idea that we were talking about before: be helpful, be useful and stuff. Don't be there to just like, hey, come buy my stuff, right? And I see a lot of that in groups that I'm a part of, that I'm in, where people come in and they're just like, hey, come hire me to do this stuff. And it's like spam, report to, the group owner or whatever, and we just avoid that stuff, right? But if you're in there and you see people have questions and you help answer those questions based on your expertise and stuff, then you're creating trust. Then you're creating value for yourself as a resource, right? So I think that's the big key there too, is that people are open to brands posting in Facebook groups, but you need to do it well. All right, so there's two ways that I definitely see using Facebook groups for small businesses, right? And the first one is to join existing groups and be a helpful resource. So find those groups. Maybe they're groups in your area. They're related to the kind of business that you run. If you do artsy craft stuff, then find a artsy craft group in your area and, be a resource and share in there, right? If you do lawn maintenance, join groups where, homeowners get together and looking for services and stuff, things like that. Really the number of groups that are out there is pretty limitless. But you can join existing groups, be a helpful resource. A lot of times you may be joining as yourself as a person. Some groups will even be set up so that they allow your page, so your business, your brand page, to join the group as well, and you can interact as the group, or as your business, as your page within the group as well too. So watch for that, but definitely. Think about joining some groups and just watching conversations, participating on conversations, be helpful, be a resource. The second thing is for how you can use groups is that you can create your own groups, whether it's a long-term thing or a short-term thing, on topics of interest that you can share on. So for example, at Fist Bump Media, we do a lot of marketing and website hosting and stuff like that too. Website hosting is a big thing, right? We help people manage their websites. So we could have a group that is really WordPress support, right? Where clients or maybe even non-clients, anybody can maybe come join and look for answers to questions about how they manage their WordPress websites, right? And we can provide answers to those questions or whatever too. And that could be a long-term group, have a long-term purpose, and just be out there for a long time. The one thing you need to kind of watch for on that too is if you create sort of a long-term group like that, is that you need to monitor it well, right? Stay on top of the spammy posts and stuff and get those deleted right away. But it's a long-term commitment as well too. This is something that you would have to say, I'm going to do this. We're going to do this for, the foreseeable future, and we want to be a resource in this way. So just recognize the commitment to managing the group well and being there over the long term. I see a lot of groups start out, they tend to be long-term groups, but after a month or two or so, they just kind of give up and just, it ends up falling into, the spamville hole or whatever. But then you can also do short-term groups, and I've done several of these in the past as well, where, for example, we create groups with an intentional purpose that really are a limited time purpose. So, for example, we have some e-courses, right? So I might run a small-term group or short-term group around one of our e-courses and say, all right, we're going to go through X number of lessons per week. I'm going to post additional videos in the group, talking to people about it and stuff too. So it's a way for me to kind of rally people around and say, hey, go buy our e-course right now. You can join this group and do it along with other people and community with other people, so they can kind of even connect and share their experiences with each other. But maybe they're getting bonus content from me throughout the term of the group while we're kind of going through the course together. So there's a lot of ways you can do that. Another example I can think of too, one of our clients is a roofer, and is a roofer in the state of Florida. Things like hurricane season is a big deal for us, and so just being ready and being prepared and stuff too. We could run a short-term group as hurricane season starts about, hey, here's some tips and some pointers to prepare yourself and get ready and blah 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 blah, right? So maybe you're posting daily videos or something like that with tips and pointers and stuff, and links to other resources over the course of the first week or two or something like that of hurricane season. Again, very short, limited period of time, but you can use the groups to do that and find ways to engage and attract people into the group. Broadcast and announce that you're doing it. And by the way, then those people then can also kind of become leads for your business as you move forward. So a lot of creative ways to be able to use groups there. So the last big question I want to kind of deal with here too is how should I use Facebook ads for my business? Facebook ads, I think, are probably one of my favorite advertising platforms. I've seen people spend thousands of dollars per month on Google ads and stuff, and really just waste that they stop paying the thousands of dollars a month, and then all of a sudden, there's no change in phone calls coming into the business or anything like that. So, and that's not to say Google ads are bad. I think some do have their place at certain times, but need to be very strategic with it. But when it comes to advertising, I'm a very organic driven person with a lot of my digital media approach. But Facebook ads is one that I really like. And there's a lot of reasons for it, right? Google knows what you're searching for. Facebook knows everything about your life. All the things that you like, that you're interested in, the things that you talk about on a regular basis, the things that you talk about on your friends' timelines and stuff. They have an enormous amount of data around you and stuff too. And while that can be kind of very scary, kind of big brotherish kind of thing, but from a marketing perspective, it's something that really actually helps people who want to market their business be much more clear and focused and intentional about what they're sharing, right? Because we can target interest and stuff so much, it means you don't have to blast out meaningless advertising to a lot of people. Okay, but take a look at some of these numbers, and again, this is some of that data from Hootsuite stuff. That the average price for an ad decreased 4% in second quarter 2019. So prices continue to come down, but the number of ad impressions has increased 33%. So really good things for marketers is getting cheaper to do it and giving you more reach as a result. An average Facebook user clicks on 11 ads per month. Women click on more of them at 14 per month, more than men who click on about 10 per month. So that's, I think, an important number too, to show that people do engage with this stuff, right? And again, I think just like with organic content stuff too, your ad content needs to be something attractive that they want to click on, something that they want to engage with, right? So I'll hit on that in a little more detail in just a moment, but really important to understand that ads are something that people do engage with and do click on. And Facebook accounts for over 80% of social referral share to e-commerce sites, right? So if you're selling something online, Facebook is really one of the single biggest drivers of social content, social traffic going to e-commerce sites, which is huge. So that it has the potential to really drive quite a bit for you. So here's my core strategy, right? Because I think there's a lot of ways you can use advertising on Facebook, but there's really two key ways that I like to use advertising. And the first one is just really leveraging the content. Again, I'm a very much an organic first kind of person, right? So focus on your strategy of how you're posting good content to your page. Look for the stuff that's getting naturally, organically good traction already, and then boost that content, right? Because here's the thing: if I put 2 posts out there and one is like everybody's liking, just naturally, just as it is, and then the other one barely anybody is, right? Which one do I want to put my money on? The one that's not showing that people like so much, or the one that really is, right? So focus on the organic reach initially. As you get some organic reach, those are the ones that tend to become candidates for content that I will boost that post to get in front of more people. And you don't have to boost a lot. Right. You can really set whatever budget you want, but a lot of times really what I just look for, especially for a local business, a small business, a local business, is to spend maybe $15 to $30 a week. $20, really can do it. $20-$25 can do it each week to boost some of your strongest organic content that week, right? So boost a post, focus on posts already getting the good organic engagement, and then focus on posts driving towards a business goal, okay? So if you're curating content and sharing an article from somebody else's website, if that's getting good engagement, that doesn't quite as much reach my criteria as it does something where like, hey, I'm asking people to register for one of my webinars, right? Which is a lead generation kind of tool for me. So yeah, focus on the ones that help you drive towards your business goals, drive towards traffic on your site, things that help you generate the leads and stuff too. And then target the ads well, right? And this is, I think, one of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to the Facebook ads is they'll say, okay, boost for $20, boom, this post is doing it really well. I'm just going to put, post 20, boost $20 on it and see what it does, right? And then really, you're a lawn care business and you're not paying attention to targeting demographics and you just boosted it nationally. So you live in Florida, but your friends in Iowa, are seeing the content. So that's not really well targeted traffic. And this is one of those things, like I said, that with the amount of information and that Facebook has really on every single one of us and stuff because of what we input into the system, we can target really, really well, right? So you can say, hey, I want to target men, women, certain age ranges. So if your ideal customer is age 35 to 55, then target that age range, right? Target geographically, right? You can even put in a city and say, give me 10 miles radius around the city. Focus on specific neighborhoods, zip codes, whatever you want, right? You can target geographically any way you want. And I suggest that you do that. Think about where you're targeting geographically. I was working with one customer, one of our clients, and we're reviewing how we spend ad money and stuff too. And they're saying, hey, I work all over the city. And I asked them, I said, what are your most profitable zip codes, right? So they searched the database and pulled and ran a report of, our close rate in these 5 neighborhoods is much higher than anywhere else in the city. Our profit margins on projects in these same neighborhoods are much higher in the city. So I'm like, well, okay, you can blast this to the whole city, but let's look at these 5 neighborhoods then. right? And let's focus on boosting the content in front of those neighborhoods, and we're going to drive more of that most profitable, higher close rate type traffic for you and stuff, right? So be strategic about how you target geographically like that, and go for the areas that you really want to. And there's a section here too for interest, right? And the interest you can kind of plug in are really unlimited, right? Do they like certain magazines, or do they have certain job titles, whatever, right? These are all types of kind of interest and things like that we can kind of match to try to kind of narrow down the focus of who you're targeting, which is really fascinating, because if you do some kind of from a marketing perspective, like a buyer persona, you can match that buyer persona right here and say, give me this person, right? Which is fantastic. And you can even exclude, not only look for people with certain things too, but if I'm doing marketing advertising and I'm boosting content around that, I don't want to target people who work for other marketing agencies, right? I want to target other small businesses who are not marketing agencies, who would be my competition, right? I'd be wasting my money if I'm spending money advertising to my competition, so you can even exclude stuff too. But this gives you a laser focus on how you do your advertising, and just really target it super well. Okay, that'll give you the best bang for your buck. Now, the other type of advertising I want to hit on really quick here too is what's called retargeting. And retargeting is fascinating because it's that classic, you go on Amazon and you search for a pair of shoes, and you get on Facebook later on, and now all of a sudden you're seeing that same pair of shoes pop up in ads on Facebook, right? And that's what retargeting is essentially, right? The idea is that a user visits your website, and you have essentially a cookie, or for Facebook it's called a Facebook pixel, set up on your website, so that tracks that prospect. That prospect then goes to Facebook later on, and when they show up on Facebook later on, it goes, oh, hey, Joe Smith was just on this page on your website. Now you can present Joe Smith a special ad. Which is fantastic, because regardless of how they find you, if they find you through search engines, or friends send them to your website or whatever and stuff, right? This is one of those things that helps kind of keep you in front of people too. This is a little bit more advanced when it comes to setting this up, but can be a really powerful tool. And if you think about this, if you are creating content on your Facebook page, and you're boosting it, getting in front of more people, and they click over to your website and then they go away, right? Then you can even retarget those people to present them another separate ad, to try to drive them back to your website again, right? So think of different ways that you can use that and really kind of entice people who have already been to your website, maybe to a specific page on your website, and then maybe give them a special offer, right? If I have there's a lot of different things that people can visit on my website, but if they visit a page about website hosting, I can target those people. And again, your ad budget can be very small, right? Because I'm not blasting this ad out to everybody. I'm only hitting people who maybe with this one page on my website, and then maybe I can retarget them with an ad on Facebook saying, "Hey, get your first month for free on hosting using this coupon code," or whatever, right? Now I just re-engage them. I know they're already interested in my content, and then I presented them with maybe it was a special offer to really try to trigger them to come back again, and maybe it's then going to a separate landing page, and you can really kind of build out this whole cycle of if somebody landed on that landing page, but they didn't do anything, then maybe I need to get them a different ad, So retargeting can get to be a pretty complex kind of strategy, but it's a really great way to just continue to engage people who've already been to your website. So they're already showing a certain level of interest by getting to your website in the first place. You can target back at them, get them special offers, re-engage in different ways to really try to capture and leverage that stuff too. This is kind of a tactic too that I've used. I don't use a lot all the time, but I have used it, and it's really helped us kind of boost our close rates on new leads converting into sales and stuff. Just because we continue to re-engage those people and stay in front of them the right ways. So anyway, with that, I hope this really hit a lot of big questions and everything you might have about Facebook. Facebook can be a really, really powerful tool for your small business, right? It's definitely worth having a Facebook page. Develop a strong plan for how you're going to push out content on a regular basis to just connect and relate well with people on Facebook. Remember, it said Facebook is about people. It's not a sales channel. It's a connection channel. And I think if you remember that and then kind of build out your strategy for how you layer in different elements between the page, maybe using groups, doing some boosting and some ads, and maybe even some getting advanced and doing some retargeting and stuff like that too, you can really kind of find some power for boosting and building your business, regardless of what your business is on Facebook. So with that, I just want to say thanks, and boom, a big fist bump for you. And if there's anything that we can do, definitely grab some time to chat with us. We're happy to talk. Talking's pretty much usually free, so just grab some time to talk. Happy to talk strategy with you. If there's anything we can do to help you kind of build a Facebook strategy for your business, more than happy to help set that up with you as well too. Thanks. Have a great day.